This evening, on behalf of Harvard Bookstore, I'm honored to welcome Dr. Izzeldin Abuelaish. He's with us tonight to discuss his book, I Shall Not Hate, a Gaza doctor's journey to the road to peace and human dignity. In I Shall Not Hate, Dr. Abuelaish portrays everyday life in the Gaza Strip and details how he came to be the first Palestinian doctor on the staff of an Israeli hospital. He describes the heartbreaking losses he and his family have endured and how those tragedies have informed his continued and astonishing efforts to build peace between Israelis and Palestinians. He also strikes the important distinction between anger and hate. Dr. Abuelaish is known internationally as the Gaza Doctor and has been an important figure in Israeli-Palestinian relations for years and heralds improved public health care and education for women as a means to achieve peace in the Middle East. He's a physician and infertility expert who was born and raised in the Gaza Strip. He has studied medicine and public health in Cairo, London, Italy, Belgium, and right across the street at Harvard University. He now lives with his family in Toronto, where he's associate professor at the School of Public Health at the University of Toronto. In 2010, Dr. Abuelaish was awarded the Mahatma Gandhi Peace Prize of Canada and was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. He is also the founder of the Daughters for Life, a foundation which provides scholarship to those seeking to improve and create programs and services to support women and girls. I hope he'll tell us more about the foundation later in his talk. I'm honored to welcome Dr. Abuelaish back to Cambridge. Everyone, with thanks for your patience, please join me in welcoming Dr. Abuelaish.
Thank you. It's good to be back to Boston, but I used to be here, and every year. It has many meanings for me. And I remember the commencement day, 10th of June, 2004, when they asked me they wanted to raise Palestine flag as a graduate. It was a minute or a moment of happiness, but you wanted your beloved ones to share those happy moments. I was alone. And later on to ask or to write from Jabalia camp to Harvard. I said, why not? What is the difference? Am I lacking an organ, an eye, a hand, or a leg? I am equal to others. And everyone can be here, can reach Harvard or any other place. I didn't find it different from other places, or the students are different from others. It's you who makes the difference. And that's the challenge. For me, I don't believe, or I don't know the word impossible in life. Everything I planned in my life, I succeeded to achieve. And everyone can do the same. My book that I wrote, it's not my book. It's everyone's thinking and ideas. I thought of writing this book a few years ago, just to write about my experience as a Palestinian child who was raised and lived in poverty. That one day you have a home, you have a land, and then a sudden to be a refugee, to be in a camp, having nothing, to wait for humanitarian aids. and succeeded to challenge all those man-made challenges, because it was man-made. It is not from God. It's a human being who did that, and still in the 21st century it's the same. Nothing changed. But what can I say to you? The first message, being man-made, this is the hope. That you, as people, as a human being, you can challenge all those man-made challenges. Those people who are doing bad in this world, of not accepting it. And to stand strong in their faces and to say no, enough is enough. Our parents as Palestinians were behind that after they lost everything, especially the mothers. The Palestinian mother, for me, and my mother, to whom I am in debt, and every mother, she is the hero. The mother is the one who sacrifices and gives. They were not educated, but realized one thing, that it's time to invest in their children. And through education, they lost everything, but they didn't lose hope in their children. That's why I thought of writing this book, but everything has its time. And the time of writing this book came after an awful tragedy. I faced in my life, even my life, I can say it's a tragedy. I never tasted, as hundreds of millions in this world, I never tasted the childhood. But the most difficult time in my life was in 4 months period. And number 16 will never be erased from my mind and the mind of humanity. 16th of September 2008 is the day when I lost my wife of an acute disease. I was blessed from her to have 6 lovely, beautiful, bright daughters and 2 sons. Those daughters that each one would love to have them. They were armed with the love. Their teachers were fighting to have them in their classes. They never succeeded. Less than 97%. I can write books about them. I thought it is the end of the world, because I fully believe children must be raised with their mom. And the role of mothers in raising the children. But my daughter Bisan, who was the eldest, she said, count on God and on our support. You must continue your work. Because I was the first Palestinian doctor to practice medicine in an Israeli hospital. I believed in it. Medicine has one face, the human face. To give, to save lives. And that's the message others to learn, to spread this human message of saving lives and helping others. We don't treat patients according to name, religion, ethnicity. We want to give. And this is the second message for everyone, especially leaders in this world, to practice. What do we practice within the borders of the hospitals? I continued my work, but the unexpected happened in a minute of craziness. 16th of January 2009, 4:45. 4 months later, when an Israeli tank shell to hit my house, killing 3 daughters, niece, and severely wounding others. For nothing they did. And there was no reason to be killed. Bisan, who was 20 years old, who was supposed to get her BA few months later. Bisan was the mother, sister, friend. Bisan, at the age of 14, was the first Palestinian girl I sent to peace camps to know others. And when she came, she said, I found how similar are we. At the age of 14, Bisan said, to meet terrorism with terrorism or violence with violence doesn't solve any problem. Mayar, who was 15 years old, and I was happy that she planned to follow my path, to study medicine. At least one of my children will save and help. Aya, who was 14, who planned to be a lawyer. Because my daughters, they were able to plan, and they have their father to help them. For me, I dreamed. And I can tell you, and everyone can dream, and the dreams are close to reality. You can occupy, you can imprison anyone, but you can't prevent him from dreaming. And it's important for us to dream. My niece Noor, who was 17, I don't want anyone to see what have I seen. Seconds after I left their room, just seconds, less than 5, the first hit came. I didn't believe it. For 2 weeks of craziness, I was as informal correspondent with my Israeli colleagues and friends to tell them about what is happening in Gaza. Where is Bisan? Where is Mayar? Where is Aya? I can't recognize them. They became parts, spreading everywhere in their room, with decapitated heads, drowning in a pool of blood. But as a believer, as a Muslim, with deep faith, and it's important to have faith, I said, this tragedy is for good, and must be for good, because at that time, a human being as you, they became numbers. Gazans became numbers. 100, 150, 200,000, as if they have no names, faces, hopes, plans, or dreams. It's shame. Human being to be numbers. I was blessed to be a medical doctor, to think of saving lives, and to think of the future and those who are severely wounded. My daughter Shada, my niece Ghaida, my brothers. And the first message of support came from my son, who is 12 years old. I started to look at him, to think of his future. Is he going to be crazy? To be violent? To be what do we call extreme? And we have to ask ourselves, who made him violent or extreme? We are not born violent or extreme. The environment, and we push our children to be violent. Violence is not a disease, it's a symptom. And we must search for the disease behind those symptoms. He looked at me while I was screaming. Why are you screaming and crying? You must be happy. Happy for what? Your sisters are killed. You must be happy. My sisters are happy there. They are with their mom. She asked for them.